Hi gang, this Hexy. Let's talk about some Barren victory, the Battle of Chickamauga here again. So we have now played 2 hours. 7:30, 8, 8:30, and 9. And we're getting ready to start the 9:30 turn. So 2 hours. And here's how things look. Alright. So the Union order of battle, or excuse me, the Union orders were to, my new tripod here, I like the stand much better. All right, so the Union order was to defend Lee House and the crossing and keep Lafayette Pike open for reinforcements coming on here. All right. The Confederate side, I'm sorry, that was the 21st Corps. That was their objective. That was their orders. Well, they hold that still because they're not going to try to attack or cross that river here. The Confederate orders were for Hood to drive in and go south down Lafayette Road, clear all the way to Lee House and take that crossing, along with help from two of the divisions from Polk. They have passed their attack stoppages for the last 3 turns. They had no contact on the first turn. Still got a couple routed units. These guys were all disorganized. They flipped over to Shaken. He was routed and flipped over. He recovered. No, he's disorganized. Oh, I got to flip him, don't I? Yeah, my bad. My bad. I didn't flip him to Shaken. Get him straightened out. Oh, no. He was disorganized by artillery fire during the Union turn. Okay. These guys were all disorganized, flipped over to Shaken. So that ought to tell you that they took a good pounding from the Union. But they were able to toss these guys out of here, out of this woods here. It was too much, so they're on defensive orders anyhow, so they stayed back. Finally decided to pull Wilder up. He's got special weapons, so he'll get bonuses to firing. And he's a AAB size unit, so he can stretch this thing out 3 hexes wide if he wants. But I don't want to get him torn up in here until I can get some reinforcements. All right. So for right now, these guys they're holding their own. They're putting damage on Hood, and they're putting damage on Polk. Buckner's Corps, their orders were to come here to the vineyard, this structure right here at this intersection, and protect the back end of Hood, the back end and the back left of Hood while he's on his attack. So they can still adjust if they need to be, and that would be what I consider within inside the orders. So that's how it's standing there. The Confederates aren't going to see any reinforcements till 1:30, and the Union's next batch is going to be at 10. So they got 2 turns before they see them. Now let's go over here to the other side where the Union is on the attack. And let me get my camera down a little bit more. I like this tripod. It's much sturdier. Much sturdier. As long as it don't flip forward, I'm good. All right. So here's the picture over here. I tried to get this division. I tried to get Granger to take initiative. See, Rosecrans is not on the map yet. All right. And there is no overall commander for the Union in this scenario, this campaign. So unless Rosecrans comes on and gets killed, then Thomas would take over. So Granger, who's sitting back here, he's only a 3 ratings. He tried to give initiative so he could move these guys on the attack to help this. It failed. So they're sitting in their defensive position, but they do got some artillery in here, and that did put a damage or hurting on this guy here. Now, the Union is inflicting damage over here, but you can see what happened. On their attack, they did some close combats. Some were successful, some weren't. You see the successful one right here, chase that back, all right? They had 5 units go low ammo. That's how good they were rolling on dice. This artillery and this grunt infantry unit and this infantry unit here, they stood their ground. Pegram was a great commander. And these guys got chased back, and he got chased back by the Union sitting over here. The problem was a lot of the Union stuff was rattled. So the 14th Corps, now Reynolds who I've tried one more time to get initiative so he could go down there and help that fight down there, maybe come in on the back end of the Confederates. Failed. Well, now he's here, so I think what we're going to try to do is get him deployed and maybe try to drive these Confederates. The Union forces are still very strong over here. And if I could get that brigade or that division activated or get their orders changed, man, that would put a hurting on the Confederates right here. Because like I say, the Confederates, what they got on the board is going to be what's there until 1 p.m. All right, so that is the overall picture. It's kind of like I'm fighting on two fronts here. And truthfully, the Confederates have an entire 2-brigade corps that are unoccupied. And I really need to decide what to do with them. I don't think, so with Buckner sitting right here, I don't really think I need to do anything with that. I could get him after Wilder. I don't think I need to send him down here because even though you got a lot of shaken units, most of these guys are in great shape. All right, so I think they're eventually going to push this stuff out of here. And hopefully, where's the next Union reinforcements come in at? See, it's the 220th, and they come in at, 220th is going to move to here and take orders from these guys. They come in entry area A, so they come in, the 2nd Division of the 20th will come in down this red road, down this way. Let's see. They'll come in here. And their orders are initially to move to help these guys here. Wow. I don't know. It's interesting. Seems to me like there's an awful big fight down there. All right, so let's look at numbers. This time I wrote them all out for you guys. Put it in an angle here, sorry. Next time I'll write them up higher on the board. So it's kind of weird because the Union has 3 wrecked brigades and 1 wrecked division. 2 of these brigades are in the same division, and that division can only handle 2 wrecked brigades. Or I'm sorry. Is it? It's freaking, yeah, in the division. Okay, yeah. So, and then 1's in another division. So that created 1 wrecked division. The Confederates have 2 wrecked brigades, and one of them's from one of their cav units. And it is, once they lose, they only had 2 brigades. Once one's wrecked, the division becomes wrecked. So, and also, Joe Wheeler was wounded. He is out of the fight. Old Joe Wheeler. All right, so here's the numbers. There are 21 stragglers for the Union. So that's a little over 1,050 stragglers, and they have 2,300 KIAs. So I think those like 3,350, all right? Probably got that wrong. They're 3,350. And I thought the Confederates were winning this, which, looking at the picture of the map, they are. But they have 37 stragglers, so that's, 1,900? 1850? And then they've got 44 KIAs. So they've got 4,050. So they are, 600? 650 or 600 more than the Union, which would, I guess, kind of make sense because they're on the attack down in the south, but the Union's on the attack here in the center of the battlefield. This is kind of interesting. I mean, the only slow part of the game is it's not doing movement stuff like that. It's just going through the close combat and fire combat. Everybody talks about during the Civil War how, the hand-to-hand fighting and the charges weren't really as often as everybody thought. Most of the time, these guys got in at fairly close range and exchanged musket fire. And for the most part, that's what I've been doing. But when I see an opportunity to break a hole in something like up in here for the Confederates, I went in with the Union. And right in here, I went in with the Union, but they pay a price too, because after close combat, the first unit that has to roll for morale is the attacker. And if the attacker fails and has to retreat, then the defender doesn't have to roll for morale. And then down here was the same thing. The Confederates just smacked the daylights out of these Union forces that were sitting in here. So being on a defensive order, so their headquarters is right there, so they're able to move. All right, well, that's how it stands after 2 hours of play. That was the 8:30 and 9 o'clock turns. If somebody out there has access or can pull it up, post a comment in there with I want to know what the casualties and missing or wounded were for the full battle for both sides, and maybe what it was for the first day of the battle. If somebody can find that and post it in the comments, I'd like to know. I want to do a comparison. All right, let's get this thing up so y'all can see what's going on. This is Barren Victory, the Battle of Chickamauga, the Civil War Brigade Series, Multi-Man Publishing, and I believe this one's from 1991. All right, talk to y'all shortly.